including Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, that time finance minister, who ran to the airport to receive him, and the Congress was treating him with a red carpet kind of facility. After all this, suddenly they discover all these cases and now want to kind of, put him behind bars.
Which is a valid point. Which is a valid point.
Duplicity.
Which is a very valid point, and I wish Mr. Ashwini Kumar was here to take that particular issue. For some reason, he's decided to get up and walk away. So he'll say it. I'll take that question to you. Has Ramdev been vilified, or are there serious question marks about whether he is a credible face?
No, I think there are serious question marks about his credibility. If he's been vilified, he needs to go to a court of law and clear his name. B, of course he's a very, very honest man. He goes in private jets and pays for them by check. He collects money in cash. He has a medical empire. This is the new brand of honesty. You know, there's an old adage that it takes a thief to catch a thief. Perhaps he knows best how to get black money back into the country. I love what Chandan says about duplicity, but the fact is that electoral politics in India are bent and are engineered through large doses of black money. So here's the reality. I think Caesar's wife always must be above suspicion. The fact that there is even an element of a cloud hanging over Ramdev doesn't make him the most credible person to lead this movement. B, it was apparent what happened with Anna Hazare, where Anna Hazare had one idiom of conscience keeping and his team another, and today you're seeing this with Ramdev. I mean, we can't turn the Ramlila ground into always an epic storytelling machine, one after the other. I mean, this is worse than, Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu series, because one guy goes, another guy occupies the space. There are serious issues.
It's like a relay hunger strike.
There are issues which this country's political classes need to address. No one raised the issue of a minister, former minister of Haryana, absconding because of what he'd done in terms of aiding and abetting a suicide. Nothing has been done about the Northeast and the tragedies that unfurled 2 weeks ago. So the reality is, we can have this little, dog and pony show, or we can actually take serious cognizance of the real issues that afflict India. The Ramdevs are red herrings. He's not going to be the credible face that either political party or the main two political parties believe he will be. And I think if the government is distancing itself from him, so should the BJP.
But it's not, and I'm going to ask Chandan Mitra about that. Bharat Bhushan, why is it so difficult for so many political parties to distance themselves from Ramdev? On the contrary, you find that they don't want to distance themselves from Ramdev.
I tell you what, first of all, let's understand why Ramdev is there. Ramdev, to my mind, is there for 3 reasons. One, having run away in the middle of the night dressed as a woman, he needs to salvage his image. His image got terribly eroded with his supporters, with the nation. Okay, so it's an attempt to salvage his image. The second thing is...
No more salwar kameezes.
Exactly.
You get me into trouble.
Look, I can do this and, I can do it again. The second reason really is that he wants to sway Indian politics away from Congress towards the right, towards BJP, and therefore BJP and other parties will never distance themselves. Third, he needs to create a big image for himself so that he can protect his properties. Absolutely. He can protect Balakrishna, he can protect all his illegal land deals in India and in Scotland, he can evade taxes. So these are various aims that have got mixed together.
It's an immunity scheme.
And political parties don't want to take on religious figures. Political parties always want to buy insurance when it comes to attacking these. But he's really a businessman who dresses up in ochre robes.
Chandan Mitra, I'll take that back to you. Is it the BJP riding on the Ramdev bandwagon because you're hoping that somehow translates into votes in 2014?
Well, look, Baba Ramdev is a very respected religious leader. He is watched every morning on television by millions of people. He has a huge following, and I still insist that the government is systematically seeking to vilify him and put him on the back foot. I don't know anything about his business interests except what has appeared in the media, and if any kind of wrongdoing is proved, definitely the law of the land must apply to him. But what I said at the outset, it is not that we have approached Baba Ramdev. Baba Ramdev has taken up in a very, very spirited way an issue that we first raised.
But what is the issue? I'm asking because I'm confused.
There's a logical fallacy.
He's as confused as Anna Hazare was. He started with black money without any, at least you give Team Anna credit. They gave you a solution with the Jan Lokpal bill, whatever version of their solution that was. he doesn't have any, points on how to deal with the issue of black money. Black money ko वापस लाएंगे, let's all gather here and have a fast over that. He's now shifted to the Lokpal, to an independent CBI. What is his agenda? What is his focus?
No, but Nidhi, there's a logical fallacy.
I'm not on. I'm not Ramdev's core team, so I don't know what is his agenda and
but
what
your party
he
is
plans
supporting
to do. Yeah, of course we'll support him because he's raising the issue of corruption and black money. So this is part of the civil society unrest against this kind of manifestations of corruption which we are finding in a big way during the UPA regime. So he is lending support, lending voice, helping create awareness and consciousness. How black money exactly will be retrieved is for the government to see. But unless they first accept that there is a huge problem, which they have accepted, but have done nothing about it. It is for the government to come up with the ideas and present them to Parliament and to the people of India. But you can't fault Ramdev for raising this issue in a big way.
Okay, so
there are three logical fallacies with what my good friend Chandan has said. Number one, he says he's a respected religious leader. Even Ramdev doesn't call himself a religious leader. He calls himself a spiritual yoga guru, whatever on earth that means. So, the moment you ascribe religiosity, you're immediately moving away, Chandan, from the very plank that BJP has begun to embrace, which is one of development and not one of religion. So, logical fallacy number one. Number two, it is no one's case that democracy should not allow people to uphold or, transmit causes. But this is a cause, as you rightly said, without a solution. We can't become India where we have problems for every solution. We must have solutions for every problem. The third is that where is this heading? Who is the constituency? Who is the target audience? And what do you want an entire nation to be galvanized with? This nation will not be galvanized by black money, because whether you like it or not, you will still pay people in cash. You will still not be able to clean up the real estate business. You will not be able to clean up half your corporate India. And most importantly, the so-called engines of democracy, which is elections, are dependent on black money. I mean, who on earth are we fooling?
No,
so we can sit here and say, everything is fine.
What is this agitation about?
I urge you not to be so cynical.
I'm a realist. I'm like you. I'm from Calcutta. We have been browbeaten by the communists and now Mamata Di. We are realists. We are not cynics.
I'm trying to say that there are millions of people who are not corrupt, billions of people who feel helpless. And if somebody is articulating their
But why don't you do that job?
All welcome it.
You're in the Rajya Sabha, Chandan. You're a respected, clean editor. You should be on hunger strike.
If you heard the ill-fated Lokpal debate in the Rajya Sabha on the 29th of December last year, you would know who is blocking the movement against corruption, who does not want a Lokpal, who does not want black money back, and the way they sabotage the Lokpal bill, and who was championing it.
What you're therefore saying
in Parliament and outside.
No, what you're therefore saying, and let me end this, what you're therefore rightly saying is, the impotence lies not in the people expressing their anger or resentment, but in the inability of their elected representatives to push through anti-corruption bills. It was Parliament collectively. Within that, you may blame one party or the other.
The determination. Sorry, let me modify what you're saying. It is lies in the determination. The helplessness lies in the determination of the Congress party to stonewall every attempt to curb, if not completely eliminate corruption, and its refusal to get the black money back into the country. That is the problem, and that's why within Parliament and outside Parliament, people must agitate, people must protest, people must try and force the government to act on these things.
Okay, but wait, I'm still trying to understand what Ramdev is trying to do here, and I'm coming back to Bharat Bhushan on this. Yeah, I mean, very obviously, even the BJP is trying to figure that out, because this whole shift now to the Lokpal and an independent CBI, and in so many ways he seems to have hijacked Anna Hazare's agenda, and Anna Hazare is not on the scene anymore. So what is this protest really about? Is it to test the political waters and then maybe decide whether he should take a plunge into politics himself?
I think he's trying to sway public opinion in the favor of the party on whose behalf he is operating. This black money business,
clear the BJP
absolutely, like him. BJP sympathizers. You would remember it was BJP who brought out a white paper on black money, and this whole black money agenda is their agenda. While they were in power, they did nothing about it. They did nothing about electoral reforms, because black money begins there. Corruption begins, at the level of your constituency when you're contest. Did nothing. Now that agenda, they've not been able to push in Parliament, so they're using extra parliamentary methods. You will find out who Ramdev's advisors are. Some of them are the same people who were involved in that white paper on black money. So I have no doubt in my mind that besides salvaging his image, he's trying to sway public opinion before 2014 elections, move it to the right so that the party that is backing him will benefit.
No, and just to take off from where Bharat left, I think what we have to be really cognizant of is we can't allow the so-called people movements led by people with vested interests to try and sway and therefore paralyze electoral democracy. You know, the function of democracy then comes to a standstill. So then you might as well have bills being passed in Ramlila rather than being passed in Parliament. You will render Parliament ineffective. And for every Ramdev that the BJP ostensibly supports, tomorrow there will be another guru that the Congress can support. So what do you do? Would you have this kind of an anarchic system of electoral governance in India? I don't think we're ready for it and never should be.
But people also do have a right to protest.
Absolutely. So the point is protest where there is a finality, where you can bring people to task. Protest in a manner that is sensible without agendas, and the person leading the protest must be above reproach. You can't have people...
How can you set such rules in a democracy that protest only if you can fight only those wars that you can win? In a democracy, it's important.
But fight was with a strategy, na?
But he has a strategy. He has a strategy of swaying public opinion. He has.
Charan Mitra wants to say something. Yes.
Yeah. No, I just want to comment on my friend Suhail and my former colleague and also a friend Bharat Bhushan. You know, so see, the problem today is that a large section of the Delhi so-called intelligentsia and the similar section in the media, you know, they see red the moment